Welcome back to Orange Hat Reviews, everyone. Hope you're all having a wonderful night. It is Friday movie discussion night, and we are continuing with the Caesar Trilogy with the second installment of Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. And
My
with
favorite,
me, indeed, and with me I have the beautiful Mads Mama Bear, the hilarious Mongo Big Thinks, and the awesome Price is Right review.
Sup?
So, everybody, what did you all, before we get the shindig started, what did you all think of it?
Ladies go first.
Yeah, always ladies first.
No, I really actually did like this movie. I know there were a lot of people that wanted to see the final battle type thing. They were still waiting for that battle that happened in war.
Mm-hmm.
But I liked the progression of this one.
Yeah.
Well, like I told Orange this. It's my personal favorite out of the whole trilogy because I told Orange that this is what I see, that this is the kind of world I think Caesar would want. That if Koba didn't portray him, this is the kind of world I think Caesar would have wanted. Just a separation between humans and apes, but more of a bitter peace when you think about it. It's more of a you leave us alone, we'll leave you alone kind of thing. So I enjoy that.
Mongo.
Yeah, something that I've enjoyed about guesting on these streams, and I'm going to look forward to the next time I pop onto this channel, is just rewatching and revisiting these movies. I watched Dawn of the Planet of the Apes today, and it was just a really nice movie to watch. Had a lovely score. It's a great, bittersweet middle chapter to this series of films here, and it was very fun to watch.
Indeed, and honestly, I watched half of it last night and the rest this morning, so I could do my brief review for it, which is for anybody who is wondering, it's actually in the playlist of this discussion, because each and every one of my movie discussion streams have their own playlist. I got the Resident Evil. I never did the Resident Evil ones. That's till later. I have the Harry Potter ones and the Underworld ones. Resident Evil, or the Mila Jovovich Resident Evil ones, will probably be next or later. I might actually do Die Hard next, I'm thinking.
Ooh, I love that, Aaron. Let's go.
But yeah. But anyway, so with that out of the way, let's get into the talking points, which the first one is obviously the news montage of the end of the civilized world.
Yep.
And where it's basically they're going over everything that has transpired after the events of the first movie. Where
news reports and all that. Yeah.
This news reports, and they have real government officials to kind of tie it into the real world. I hate that in movies. That is one gripe that I will take to my grave. Or that I will die on this hill or whatever. But anyway, basically it's like they have some obscure governor or whatever, or mayor or whatever, like, if you're sick, stay home or whatever. And then they have number 44, complete asshole, know your escape routes wherever you may go. And I'm like, so people are trying to escape from a deadly virus? I mean, you're going to try outrunning an aerosolized virus, an airborne virus? How's that work for you, you dumbass?
If I see it, it's not happening.
Exactly.
That's why wear masks, man.
That's the thing, folks. The way that this movie begins, if you were to draw comparisons to what is going on today, to the beginning of Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, except for the fact that this thing's death toll wiped out 150 million plus people, you're gonna find that, holy crap, it's almost the same thing.
Mhm.
except that nobody's sneezing up blood.
Well, here's my kind of question on that. I thought the virus only just dumbs down humans, but makes apes smarter, though. That's what I don't get.
That
Okay.
was that's an evolution of the virus.
That yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
That's kind of confused on that part, but yeah.
The 113 was the more virulent and deadly one. But
Okay.
there are people who are genetically immune, which are reasons why. Now, we'll get into this later on, but you'd think that that kind of genetic immunity would be would pass on to any child you have, right?
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, that's not the case in this movie or in this universe.
But, yeah.
Now, so they get through the montage and everybody's basically dying. It's like, this is the end. You gotta wonder who's gonna be left. And it's like, then they get to the apes and they're hunting in the woods. And it's this beautiful shot of freaking just close up of Caesar's eyes. And it's like, yep. And you see him in a tree. He's decked out in his skeletal war paint with all the other ones. And then you see another one swinging in. Caesar, they're close. And it's just, and it's like, I wonder what they're doing.
Yep.
And now, to a layperson, they might actually think that it is, maybe they're hunting humans. Who knows? Those bastards try to kill him on a bridge. So, time for payback. But no, that's not the case. Then you also see another ape that's right next to Caesar, who says, "Now, father," and shush. Then he sets off the herd of, or I don't know, what do you call a group of deer? A herd, yeah.
Yeah.
Herd, yeah.
Yep, a herd of deer, and it's like, okay. And Koba's down on the ground. He's getting in front of them to try to lead, or to try to get him to stop or turn or whatever. He's trying to, basically, it's basic Neanderthal hunting.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Hunting groups, yeah.
Yeah, it's basic Neanderthal hunting. But the thing is, these apes are a little bit more evolved, and they got big ass spears. That was a great freaking line in this movie. They're apes with big ass spears. Like shit, man. But I do love how these apes are. Most of them are very individualized. They are very specific and whatnot. Like like Ash, Rocket's son, and you got Blue Eyes, which is Caesar's son.
Yep.
Which is kind of a shout out to Bright Eyes, which was Caesar's mother, except that or Blue Eyes has he has blue eyes. He's not a green-eyed chimp like everyone else, which gives him a sense of individuality that is very interesting, in my opinion. So some of the deer do not turn when Koba and the rest of them try to get him to turn. They just freaking plow right through, and it's like, oh damn. But then, Caesar uses a bola bolas that are he has a gorilla or a mountain gorilla carrying a bunch of stuff on his back, and he's like, "Yeah, let me borrow those." And he gets a deer, and it falls down the hill, and he's getting close to his son and him are getting close to it, but Caesar notices scratching on a tree. Or scratches on a tree, and he's like, "Son, stay." And well, his son really just wants to kill this deer because, well, his son wants his first kill, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
And well, he didn't listen.
Typical movie trope, you know. They never stay.
Yep. Rat passage.
Telling your son to stay. It's like, nah, I'm going to kill this thing so I can have some food. Well, that's when the bear comes in.
Yep. Giant ass bear. Yeah.
And does a nice little number on Blue Eyes, and then Caesar has to get in, and then he starts calling out, and Koba hears him, and this basically sets up that even though Caesar basically bitch slapped Koba down in how you doing, Tim Possible? Good to see you.
Hey, what's up?
And
what else we got?
even though he basically he put Koba in his place in the previous, near the end of the previous movie.
Mm-hmm.
It shows that Koba is now basically kind of a second in command, sort of.
Mhm.
He's like their leader of their.
I was gonna say more of a general of the whole army or the whole
Kind of
war,
combat,
yeah,
combat leader,
role.
so to speak.
Yeah.
And I absolutely love this because you see that once Caesar notices Koba is coming, he stands up as big as he can and just starts screeching and roaring at the bear, which causes it to stand up, and it's like, I'm bigger than you, bear. Oh, crap, something's in the back of my neck.
Yep.
And
Bear's like,
And there goes the last bear in California, which does raise the question: how is there a bear in that woods? There hasn't been one in California since 1922.
I know, right?
Guess it got out.
well, it could have
Yeah.
wandered. It could have wandered from inland. You never know.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, when the
There's
world,
there's a story there that they neglected.
yeah, I mean, when
Well,
a bear,
I was gonna say, I mentioned it's been 10 years since the first movie, so
Yeah.
civilization has fallen at that point. So
yes, and
Well, you
that
see,
is
they introduced the bear population into California to take care of the ape population.
well, there you go. That could work. Yeah.
That's why they.
I mean, they're in
But-
San Francisco. There's already a lot of bears in that city.
yeah.
But yeah,
Oh, really, man? You just had I caught it for a second. Oh, wow. And I thought I had the dirty mind.
gotta love
I
Mads and their
really
dirty
like
mind,
that
folks.
moment. There's that little moment of levity right after the bear dies,
Yeah,
and Caesar's
Yeah.
like coming out. He's like, "Thanks, Koba."
he's like, they start laughing. They're like, "Oh God, that was freaking intense." Thanks, buddy.
Something real,
Fair.
something human. Just really great
Yeah.
about that.
It really was. And then he goes to his son and realizes that his son is kind of fucked up. And he's like, and
Yep.
instead of asking, "Are you all right?" he's like, "You got to think before you act, son."
Mhm.
And then he tries to touch, and his son's just like, "Fuck you and get away from me." He's one of those angsty teenagers. Even though he's 10 years old by ape standard, he
Yeah.
is, or it's probably like 9 or 8 by ape standard. I don't know, but he's still like an angsty teen. He's he's in his rebellious stage, you know.
Yep.
Mhm.
He's more like a coming of age kind of teenager in a sense too. He's learned to hunt.
Yeah,
he's
it's
learned
pretty
that.
good.
He's learned the rite of passage from his father, so to speak.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So then they take or then they get the apes get back to the settlement riding horses. I mean, these things have horses still.
Yep.
Now,
Sure, yeah.
So then you see Maurice with the young apes and the 3 laws: ape, not kill, ape together, strong,
Yep.
and knowledge is power, basically.
Yep.
Because you see not or KNOW and L, so you know it's knowledge is, and it's like, well, we'll have to fill in the blanks now. Power. But I just love. Go ahead.
That's like the universal. That's just like the universal law. Knowledge is power.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's teaching him how to write. He teaches, and I just love how it's Maurice that's teaching all the baby chimps how to do it and whatnot. It's because he's wise. He is the wise orangutan. He's the wise orange man. Because that is literally what.
I'm sorry. You said orange man. I'm thinking you've got to be kidding me.
Well, if you think about it, that's what orangutan actually translates into.
Orange man.
I had to, folks. I had to. I'm an orange hat. Well, Maurice is an orange man.
Sorry, keep going. Sorry, I had to bring that up.
But anyway, so one of the midwife apes comes and is like, "Caesar, get your butt up here. Like, we need you here. Come on." And so he rushes up. And before he does that, you see Koba talking to Blue Eyes. He's like, "Hey, Blue Eyes, don't worry, man. scars make you strong. And it's like, this is a great establishment that, because Blue Eyes responds to him and whatnot, he actually listens to him. So this is establishing that Koba and Blue Eyes have a bond, a kind of camaraderie, where Blue Eyes is not willing to listen to his father, you know? So then they get up to Caesar's shack, so to speak, at the top of the highest tree. I mean, good living for, I mean, this settlement is pretty freaking awesome. I mean, the way that was built, dude.
Very innovative.
Very innovative, yes. And so Cornelia is, you think she's sick at first, but turns out she's pregnant.
Ooh.
And so they have her push, and they have a beautiful baby boy crying his eyes out, and then gets right up to cozy with his mama. Yep, Cornelia, which everybody, or for those of you who do not know, she was actually in the first one. And she was the one with the water thing that, or had a fascination with water at the primate shelter. But
Malfoy.
yeah. But anyway, then Blue Eyes comes up, and his father's like, "Come take a look at your new brother." And it's a nice, tender little family moment.
Yep.
And then we get into the meat of the thing, where basically Maurice and Caesar are talking like old friends do. It's like, "Another son?" Yep. Makes me wonder how far we've come. And Maurice is like, "Still thinking about him, don't you?" Humans? Sometimes. Just wondering if they're really gone. 10 winters. We haven't seen them. Last 2, not a trace. They must have destroyed themselves. I mean, screw them. He's like, "I didn't know them the same way you did." "How to do, Geordie Underground?"
Hey, what's that?
Underground. I love it, dude.
Love it.
That is a boss name, dude. Seriously.
Yeah.
Undie.
Yep.
Get your undies on, people. But yes, hell to the chat.
But I do agree about that sentiment that it makes you think when they talk about where all the humans gone, and then we talk about the settlement that we're about to talk about in a few minutes. But just imagine how many more settlements are out there, just humans left, just small patches of human races left. It's crazy. Just makes you really think how far human race has fallen because of this one virus. It's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so then,
in one part of the U.S., it could just be Mad Max all over. You head down to Southern California, all of a sudden you got, Planet of the Apes
lush
going.
and green, yeah.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, because I'm thinking like Manhattan, Chicago, Detroit, or even down south towards Florida. There's probably a few humans are left trying to just live on the coast or something like that, use whatever supplies they need. But like I said, in small patches because everything's all falling to bits or falling to ruin.
Yeah. So then
that's my theory, but
so then basically Maurice is very self-assured that they must be gone. So then you see Ash and Blue Eyes doing some spearfishing and whatnot. And just as Blue Eyes is about to do something, Ash swats him, playing a little prank, and it's like, "Come on, man, I'm trying to freaking fish." And so then they're talking to each other like, "Man, that bear wouldn't have snuck up on me. Shut up, Ash." And then they sneak up, and then they run into a human who is established to be the biggest asshole in this movie. His name is Carver. He's like, "Oh my god, it's okay," and he pulls a freaking gun on him.
This guy.
Yep.
It's like,
we're scared. We expect he's scared.
Yeah, he's scared.
Well, yeah. I mean, this dude is like absolutely terrified. It's like, a person that terrified should not even have a gun.
Well, it's a survival situation. What else are you gonna do?
Yeah, true. But anyway,
I'll give a little credit. They didn't exactly think the apes were up in that area.
Yeah.
They were expecting it, but still.
Well, Well, think of it this
There's
way.
2 apes. There's
If
going to
you're
be more.
well, think of it this way. In a survival situation, especially for me as a veteran, yeah, you're gonna learn how to use the gun very quickly if you learn how to survive. That I promise you. So
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No doubt about that.
So when
Wandering around the woods when there's bears that have appeared for the first time and got almost
Yeah.
100 years and that kind of stuff, a gun's only, smart
Yeah.
thing to have with you.
Yeah.
Good point. So
Yeah.
then Blue Eye starts hissing at the guy, and Ash takes the slightest step forward to try to calm Blue Eyes down, and the guy freaks and shoots Ash.
Yeah.
And the gunshot resonates throughout the woods and wakes up
Okay.
all the frickin' apes. And they're like,
And they're
we
pissed.
know that sound.
Mhm.
We know what it means. And then you see Carver freaking going, no, hey, help, and whatnot. He's like, I shot him, I didn't know what to do. He just starts freaking out. He's like,
Oh
and
yeah.
he freaks out, but it's obvious this is the first time they came across apes, and while they're all aware that they came or the sickness came from them and whatnot, so yeah, it is understandable, and that's where
Mhm.
then they suddenly see Rocket, because Rocket just freaking launches into that area to protect his son.
Mhm.
Yeah, he just wasted there. Yeah.
He has a spear up. He's like, I'll freaking stab you, motherfucker. And all of them have their guns up, and then all the other apes show up. And you see Caesar get up there, and he's like, arms out. He's like, you guys stay, calm down and whatnot. He's like, wait, Ash. He's like, he shot my son. He shot Ash. And Caesar's like, just wait. Just everybody wait.
Trying to defuse it a little bit. Yeah.
He's trying to defuse it, but he's also trying to he's trying to read the situation. He sees these humans, they have guns and whatnot, and the other guy, I can't remember what his name is, the actor, but his name's Malcolm in the movie. We don't mean any harm. You just fucking shot one, or your other guy just freaking shot one dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So that's not really selling.
That's not really a good point, yeah.
Exactly. And he's like, they're apes, man. You think they understand the words you're saying?
Yes.
Do they look like just apes to you? Or do they look like apes to you? Well, yeah, they kind of do, but anyway. And so he's like, put your guns down. Are you crazy? Put them down. And that definitely diffuses it. And then he's like, okay. And hands up, okay. And then Caesar just does his lovely go.
Yeah, like, I was gonna say something real quick about that. Yeah, when you see the humans lower their weapons, they're trying to put their hands up. It shows a gesture of trust in a hostage situation when you think about it. Because
it's basically showing.
They're surrounded by apes, and one of them shot one of your comrades or something. But then you don't want to have it all blood fest up between either party. So Caesar is trying to be the diffuser, but then, like I said, such a situation. Then once he sees the human disarm themselves, they'll kind of put their hands up and saying, "Okay, we're not here to harm you. We're just trying to,
Yep. And I love that. The other guy, when Malcolm hears it, it's like, and everybody's yelling, "Go!" Or Koba also yells out, "Go!" Yeah. And he's like, "Okay, we're going." We're going.
So like,
he has a shit-eating grin on his face.
Yeah.
It's like, well, it's either that or terror in your face, but I'd go with smiles. Just me. But yeah, and then notice how Caesar has his arms out, like stopping anyone from. He's basically saying, "We do not pursue them. Let them go."
Just let them go. Yeah, just don't.
But yeah. Then Maurice, being the ever-wise orange man that he is. He hands him the bag that the kid dropped.
Yep.
And then, he looks at it and he's like, "We need to know more. Koba, follow." Why would you send Koba?
Yep, of all people.
Well,
why?
He trusts Koba. That's why. I mean, Koba did save his life. Koba kind of established himself as one of the smarter ones. He was the first one that was introduced to ALZ-113.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he is on a level smarter than most of the other ones. Now, there's a book that actually takes place or in between Rise and Dawn.
Mhm.
Koba considers lesser, or the ones that aren't smartened up on or juiced up on the ALZs, as caterpillars
Or subhuman almost.
or sub-ape, so to speak.
Yeah.
But he actually
Same.
called them caterpillars. And he was talking with Maurice one time, and he's like, "What do you mean by a caterpillar?" The non-smart apes. And Maurice went off on him. He's like, "What the fuck is wrong with you, you racist piece of shit?"
Yeah.
It's basically, he's like, they are apes like us. We can teach them. They can learn.
Yep.
You dumb son of a bitch.
Even without the juiced up M13 whatever that, but they can still sign. They can still do stuff even without it. Sometimes apes can be smart when you train them right.
Yep. Now, so they follow the colonists, because that is what they are, the colonists, back to the Golden Gate Bridge, where they had their Gary Oldman introduction. Now,
Very old man.
he plays Dreyfus.
Love that guy.
Now, you're probably going to hear some water running, folks, because I need to fill up my water bottle. I was going to find a way.
I was gonna say Gary Oldman. He's always a good actor for all those kind of movies. He's always a good villain and sometimes good.
And the thing is, he's not even really a villainous character in this movie.
He's just a guy trying to survive too.
Yeah. So I'm going to pause or mute my mic. So talk amongst yourselves for a couple seconds or a few minutes or whatever. I'll be right back.
All right. Yeah, like I said.
Happy Dino, glad to see you.
Hey, Dino, what's up, my man? How you doing?
Soul Assassin.
Hey, Soul Assassin, welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, LTNC in the building. Wonderful people.
You're starting to stutter a little bit, Mads.
Yeah, it's a little.
I'll be right back then.
Sorry.
Robo Bear out.
It's like it's just you and me, my man.
Then there were two.
So what do you think of the Gary Oldman's character in this whole movie overall? What do you think?
It was good. I like there was a lot of depth into him. He wasn't just one note.
Yeah.
Later on, we'll get to it, but I like him near.
I do kind of feel bad for him.
The climax of it, I guess, the climactic battle.
That's what I was gonna say. That's what I was gonna say. I feel kind of feel bad for him because, like I said, just like any other human race that still survived, he's just a guy trying to survive, and he's trying to do the best he can to make sure other people survive with him and all that kind of stuff. So he's kind of just acting on his own. I don't want to say instinct, but he's acting on his own belief what is right for the human race, kind of thing. So I don't really blame him for the kind of stuff he did in that movie, in my opinion.
Yeah. And so I'm back, and we're gonna wait
to pop out because her mic was going funky again.
Yeah,
I see her in the background. I'm gonna let her stew. No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna bring her right back.
Oh, you're evil, man. You're evil.
Let me back in, you damn dirty ape.
Don't you mean you damn dirty orange hat?
You man, dude.
You damn dirty orange man.
Hang on, I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I'm sorry. Someone had to park right in front of my damn car when they're trying to block the damn view, so my bad. Right.
Oh, okay, now that I got a drink in me, let's continue.
We're at the Golden Gate Bridge with Gary Oldman.
Yep, and they're driving.
Love that guy.
So it's like, come on in, we need to talk. And so he's like, what do you mean he spoke in one night? Or what do you mean he was remarkable? He's like, these weren't like real. Did you not hear him? He freaking spoke. He's like, calm down. Dude, he spoke. He's Carver is the stereotypical dumbass and asshole. So he's the stereotypical dumb asshole.
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah.
It's like, I'm telling you that it was incredible. Incredible? They're apes with big ass spears. How you doing, Happy Dino and Soul Assassin? Good to see you guys. Thank you for
You're late to the party on that one, Orange. You're late to the
Yeah.
party on that one.
yeah. And so he's like, what do we do? Well, we're going to keep it to ourselves, so I don't want to cause a panic.
Hmm.
And he's like, are you kidding me? No, I'm not kidding. We're going to keep it quiet. We need
As he
that power
shouts it.
source.
Just
Say that again.
as he shouts it, we're gonna keep it quiet.
Yeah, it's like,
Little louder. I'm pretty sure the neighborhood didn't hear you.
exactly. And while they're talking about this, well, the apes are starting to talk about this. Koba wants to go to war.
He wants bloodshed, yeah.
Yeah, he wants bloodshed. He's like, and he's trying to even psych up, or he's trying to get Rocket angry, but Rocket's not having any. He's like, Rocket, they shot your son. Don't you want to fight? I follow Caesar.
Yep.
And Caesar's just listening there. And when he heard his own son behind him say Koba is right, it's like,
You're sad.
or that's when he started to get even angrier. And everybody was getting hyped up. And he's like, no!
Yeah, angry and sad too at the same time. Yeah.
And Maurice, but before that, Maurice is like, we don't know how many there are, how many guns they have, and whatnot. And he's
Trying
like,
to be the reason. Yeah.
yeah, he's trying to. He was the voice of reason, Orange Man. all hail the Orange Man, Maurice. Folks, this
Anyway.
is going to be a running gag throughout this entire live stream.
And I'm gonna
Be
find
warned.
every time.
Exactly.
Orange had reviews. Orange had reviews. Orange Man orangutan.
Yeah, Orange Man is not bad in this. Orange Man is good. Orange Man is love. Orange Man is life. Orange Man is wise. Anyway, all hail Orange Man. No, you're anyway, I'm gonna overdo it. I swear to God, it's inevitable. But anyway, so Caesar speaks up. He's like, if we go to war, how many apes are gonna die? We risk everything if we go to war. And he signs out the very words that he knows: home, family, future. And he emphasizes future to Koba.
Yep.
Because he knows, yes, Koba, I know you hate them, but you're jeopardizing our future with your rash hatred. And so he's like, I will decide what to do by morning. So Koba, he's like, Caesar, look, humans tortured me when I was their prisoner. They cut me.
Yeah.
They experimented on me.
I like how it goes. Human work.
Yeah,
Human
that's
work.
later. Yeah, that's later.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, we must show strength. I mean, you didn't, and he's like, we will, Koba. And then they clasp arms like brothers. And so the next day, or getting back to the other place, everybody, or you see the colony and how they got all sorts of clothes strung up and whatnot. It's pretty cool. I mean, I could dig it. But so then the next day, the apes are all basically riding in, war paint and all, basically ready to fuck shit up just in case. But they're not there to fuck shit up. So then the bells are ringing, and Malcolm gets up there, and he's like, now he tells Gary Oldman it's like probably 80, or there was about 80 there, maybe more, or at least. That's a hell of a lot more than 80.
It's basically a show of force from the East side, yeah.
Exactly. It's the apes basically showing them, you don't want this.
Nope.
So then he gets he's the only one to walk out there. And then Caesar goes up there, and it's perfect. The look he has, like it is on the thumbnail here, folks, to this stream. The look he just gives before he starts talking. Apes!
Yep.
And everybody starts freaking the frick out. It's like, oh my God, that thing just talked. Or as dumbass Isaac Gonzalez says, did the monkey just talk? Godzilla versus Kong, folks. It's
Yeah.
Good
it's
movie.
in. It's not a spoiler. It's in the trailers.
In the trailer. Yeah.
Yep, good movie.
But yes, also
Anyway.
a very good movie. But anyway, he says apes do not want war,
Nope.
but we will fight if we must. And so
That's it.
he then has his son give the bag back. And I
I
love.
do.
Go
I was
ahead.
gonna say, I love when Caesar the first time he says, "Ape, home, human, home,"
Yeah.
and he like, kind of points out like where you guys stand on where you live or whatever.
Mhm.
Kind of draws a line in the sand, so to speak, before he goes on his speech. Yeah. But
Yep.
keep going.
And that's basically what he said. He's like, apes home, human home,
Yeah,
do
draws a line in
not
the sand.
come back.
Yep.
And so he then turned, and then gosh, what is this freaking actor's name? Malcolm's character.
Jason Clark.
Thank you.
The actor. Yeah.
Oh, is it? You're talking about the guy who plays in Terminator, right?
Terminator
John Connor.
Genesis. Yeah. he
Yeah,
played
yeah,
John-
yeah.
Yeah.
That's, yeah. John, I should think of John Connor. Yeah, here we go. Anyway,
I actually, hot take, folks. I actually like Genesis. But anyway, so then he sees Koba just get up to him and give him the most blood curdling stare. It's like,
Yeah.
I see you, human, and
Yep.
I fucking hate you.
oh, he does. Yep.
And and he's looking at him, he's like, what the fuck is this guy's problem?
Like I said, he's basically the scar of the apes in that sense. You know?
Yeah, and so everybody's freaking out and panicking, and Gary Oldman has to kind of talk him down. He's like,
Yep.
how'd they find us? We found them. Well, what are we going to do? Or what if they come back? If they come back, they'll be sorry they ever did. Yeah, they outnumber you like 3-1.
Well, it all depends. Well, like I said, it all depends what kind of armor they do have. If they do have like a bunch of guns and ammo, they could stand a good chance if they have only spears and bow and arrows. But you know,
Well, actually, they didn't have bows and arrows in this one yet. But
well, I know that. I'm saying in the general sense, it's basically the general sense of English members and Indians again. In that sense.
Yeah, but yes.
You know what I mean?
And then he tries to tell him that dam was not our only shot. We will find an alternative power source. We will survive and whatnot. And so after he calms him down, he goes up and talks to him out. And he's like, you do know that there is no alternate power source. He's like, well,
why after 10 years are they only looking into this now?
I know,
Well,
right? Well, because actually the nuclear power dried up.
yeah. So it's kind of not really much they can do about it.
I mean, what's funny is that they actually said in the beginning montage, they actually agreed to a complete suspension of government. And I'm like,
oh, wow.
are you saying that the government willingly just gave up?
They basically just go complete anarchy at that point. Yeah.
Wow.
That is pathetic. But considering who the president was at the time,
Not going there.
Jeez.
I know I'm not going there. But anyway,
Whatever.
but anyway, I know. But hey, they decided to put it in. They decided.
I'm not saying either one with you, but yeah.
But anyway, it just makes you wonder. But anyway, I sound like a broken record at this point. Anyway. So he's like, let me go up there. Let me talk to him. And he's like, are you out of your mind? And he's like,
Yep, he is.
they're not just apes. That kind of proved it, you know?
Yep.
That kind of display kind of proves it. They're not just apes. He's like, well, 3 days. If you're not back here, we're taking all the armory we got and we're going up there to kill every last one of them. I'm like, you'd be the first to die.
Yep. I'll say this much. With all the human race slowly dying off from the disease, like I said, just like the third movie, there's a whole military still out there hiding around too as well. So they're not stupid about these. They're not stupid about these apes either. You know?
Mm-hmm. And so they decide to go back, and hold on a minute. I gotta pull up.
I was gonna say one thing on a sidetrack. Imagine if Kong got juiced up on that 13. Oh, dude, just imagine that.
If he caught a whiff of ALZ 113.
That'd be
Yeah,
awesome.
just think about that for a second. But no, I'm serious though. Just imagine the kind of things that could happen if Kong himself got juiced up on that 13. Yeah, he would shock everybody around the world. You know, literally.
Yeah. You're right, he would. That and I also watched that movie too earlier today too. But anyway,
Yeah.
so he goes up into the mountain. He's like, if I'm not back in 3 hours, get back to the colony.
Yeah.
Okay. So, he's going through and he sees, or he enters part of the settlement, and there is a silverback gorilla that is behind him. Now,
Yep.
I don't know if this one is smart like the rest,
Yeah.
but he just gets up and he's like, "Rah! Rah! Rah!"
He's good.
Just
He's
starts.
good.
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
just
very,
starts.
very nice of him not to just beat him to a pulp.
Yeah.
Yes,
Like,
true.
isn't
Very
he
true.
like surrounded by gorillas? Like,
Yes,
pretty close
that was
after
basic-
that.
That was basically the mountain gorilla area. That was basically
It's
the
like,
silverback. That was the silverback domain. Yeah, and so
Nothing they're
They-
huge too. Yeah.
they then basically lead him in, and this is where I noticed Caesar's rock, where he stands, has his window carving painted or marked onto it.
Mhm.
Yep.
Wow.
Just like this new
Yeah.
symbol or something like that. Yeah.
The
Mm.
curved diamond and window circle.
Yeah, like it's basically his his family symbol almost. Yeah.
Yeah, and so they put Malcolm on his knees, and he's like, "I know you said don't come back. I know, but I have to. I need to talk to you." And he tries getting up, and freaking they smack him back down. He's like, "Please, no."
Let's go.
Yeah, I just love it. And he's like, "There's something I need to show you." And Koba's not having any of it. He's like, "Humans lies."
Yeah.
And he even has his spear up. He's ready to just kill this guy. It's like, Jesus, Koba, could you be any more bloodthirsty? I mean,
Yep.
the answer is yes, folks. He could.
I'm just saying, you're surrounded by a whole schwacka of chimpanzees that want to kick your ass. This is not the time to, be mysterious. You put it all out on the line.
Exactly. Just freaking spill your guts, dude.
Yep.
I need to show you something so you can understand. So everybody's like, "Can we kill him now? Can we kill him? Can we kill him? Can we kill him?" Caesar puts his arm up. "Show me." So then he takes him through, and he stands there on the ledge, looks at Caesar, and just jumps. It's like, "So you wanted me to come out all this way just to see you commit suicide? Okay." Back to the colony, folks. And that's the end of the movie, folks. No. He's down in an entrance to a dam. And so this is where Jason Clarke betrays his English-born heritage.
Pretty much.
This is what we call the small hydro. Not in America. It's called a dam.
Yep.
And originally we were running on nuclear power, but those dried up years ago. And then we had diesel fuel and gasifiers. What are gasifiers? Oh, right, they're lanterns. They're lanterns. Gas lanterns, gasifiers. And it's like, dude, is that like English or something? Because I don't speak Britain.
I watch a lot of BBC shows and all of that. I have never heard the term gasifier before.
Hold on one second.
I was gonna say that this is the part where the apes and the humans start working together to bring back the power for the humans or human colonies or something like that. See, if Koba didn't betray Caesar at that point, I think the human race and the apes might have gotten a little bit better if they were to help each other out, survive. I think the human race and the apes would be a lot more better off. But like I said, Koba betrayed them.
Did you just skip the entire movie while I was gone for like 5 seconds?
It's not like there was a whole lot of trusting souls on the other side.
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
Now, okay, so I got the confirmation from my aunt, who is not British, but has also watched a lot of British stuff. Gasifiers is British.
Okay.
But yeah.
It still sounds
I'm
like
too
what would happen after to Starfire after Chilling Night. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Anyway.
I love you,
Anyway.
Mads. I love you.
This is why he keeps bringing me back.
Mhm.
Matt,
It's always a pleasure to have Mads on here.
I was just telling Mads and Mungo that this is the part where I start to really enjoy the dialogue between apes and humans trying to work together for survival. In that sense, but I was telling them that if Koba didn't betray them, I think this would have planted to see to a final piece. If you think about it, like I said,
Yeah, it would have
Caesar
been
was
an
like,
easy piece.
yeah, because he was like, yeah, humans, are kill us or kill each other, but they're still work with. They could be able to work with. If you know what I mean.
Yeah. So he's like, "Is this making any sense to you?" The lights. It's like, yeah. Unbeknownst to Mr. Colonist, he's city born. This is an ape, that hailed from the city. He's a city ape. He's a city chimp.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's like, yes, the lights and much more. And if you could just allow us to work and whatnot, this will help us, and we will never come up here again. And if I'm lying, you can kill me. Okay. And I just love it. And he actually pissed off. If you could just allow us to do it, you brought others. Koba's like, just a few. But Koba's like, you're pissing me off, man. I don't trust this asshole.
Yep. Like I said, it's not even an olive branch.
And so all the apes are heading down there, and Carver gets his fucking gun out, cocks it, and he's like ready to just blast. When Malcolm gets up, we have to give him our guns. That is their one condition. And so the next scene, you see Rocket just going to town with a rock on one of those rifles.
Yep.
And I just love it. And freaking Koba's looking at it like, I can't believe my life has turned to shit.
Yeah.
So he goes up to Caesar. He's like, how can you let them do this? They're weak right now. We should crush them while they're weak. And how many apes will die? How many apes will die because you hate them? He's like, they're weak right now. If you let them have power, they're going to be more dangerous. Let's just let them do their human work and they'll go. And this is the moment that Price is Right was saying about. And Koba, this is a huge trigger for Koba. Human work. So he points to the scar on his neck. Human work. Points to his arm. Human work. And then he points to his eye and screams out, human work. And this is when Caesar has just had enough. He stands up, and all the other apes are like, oh, shit.
It's kind of challenging the powerful.
Yeah, and then you see that, or Koba basically understands. He's like, okay, I messed up. And then he gets down to submit and does the whole supplication gesture. And Caesar looks around and just smacks his hand to let him know, okay, you're good. Now get the hell out of my face. And so the humans are working on it. And
with the apes as well, too.
No, not yet.
I don't talk about,
yeah. He actually goes up to Cornelia, and Cornelia's wheezing. And he's like, are you okay? You sound sick. She's like, so she signs okay. And she's like, you worry about the humans. And he's like, it's basically just a small little moment between them. And then there's the big boom, and everybody gets, oh shit, before they started working on the dam, it's the night, or during this time, it's night, and they go back, and Carver's like, or everybody's like, you want to know the scariest thing about them? They don't need power. That's their advantage. And Carver's just starts being an asshole. Then he's like,
Mhm.
how are you not sick at the sight of him? I mean, didn't you have a little girl? And he's talking to Ellie, Malcolm's girlfriend.
Yep.
And Malcolm's like, Carver, that's enough. How did she die? And Carver, that's enough. Or your wife, for that matter. And then the other guy's like, Carver, if you don't shut up, I'm going to kick your ass. Right.
Yep.
Okay. I'm the asshole. Yeah, you kind of are, dude.
Well,
Yeah.
he did state it out. Yeah, he was.
Yep.
No one
he states that
objected
he's the
it.
dumb asshole. And so he walks off and whatnot. And while, or he's like, and I just love it. And there is other things where L tries talking with him, and he's like, I'm not concerned about the colonists. I'm concerned about him. He's pointing to his son, the kid that had the pack that was drawing and whatnot. And that Maurice took a fancy to because Maurice likes that this kid is smart. He's like, this sort of stuff, I'm learning a lot from this kid's pack, you know? And so he's like, I'm worried about him. That kid has seen stuff that no kid should have seen. Because remember, folks, in the montage, it's basically anarchy. It's martial law. They tried getting martial law. That didn't work. People were killing each other. It was basically like a civil war that wiped everybody out and the infighting and whatnot. It was madness.
Let's see, plague, riots. Yeah, that doesn't sound familiar.
Starvation.
Yeah. I mean,
don't forget starvation, because starvation is the worst one.
I haven't gotten to starvation yet.
It was coronavirus 2008 instead of 2000 or instead of 2020. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so it was. Oh yeah, it was CV or COVID. It was COVID 08. There we go. Yeah. But anyway, so the next day they're working on the dam and they run out of deck cord. And so like, okay, cover your ears. And they get stuck. And L is there and Malcolm's son is there and they talk and whatnot. He's like, so you had a daughter? Yeah, she and in the book you actually learn how her daughter dies. When her daughter got sick. Because she was reading her favorite book to her and her daughter sneezed and blood went all over the pages. And that's when she realized that her daughter was going to die.
Wow.
This girl, or Elle, also works for the CDC, so she knows that everybody who is still alive nowadays is genetically immune, you know?
Pretty much, yeah.
And so, the apes pull them out, and I just love this. Rocket is the one that pulls this. He's looking in there. He's like, "You guys are just making our day even worse with your stupidity." That's basically the look he's given them. And so,
or face palming.
Yeah. So then you see them out there, and you see L patching everybody up, and Carver's getting his leg all wrapped up, and that's when the little one goes in. And I don't think the little guy has been named yet. So, Malcolm's thanking Caesar, and and the little one decides to run up to the other humans, and they're all getting cute, or it's like, oh, so cute, sort of stuff. Wait, what? Got to think about this script. Guy missing wife, X-ray or ex-girl, missing daughter, add monkey, and perfect. Jesus. Boiling seas, cats and dogs living together each other, or living with each other. Mass hysteria. Yeah. So all of America became Portland in the wake of the Simian Flu. Yeah, basically.
Yep.
And but yes. So the guy's like, "What are you doing? Just come on, finish patching my leg up." And then the little one pulls and sees the shotgun, and well, he gets up and he runs over. He's like, "Get out of there!" And that's when Blue Eyes goes to protect his brother and smacks the guy away. And the guy pulls the shotgun. He's like, "Hey, I'll kill you!" And that's when Caesar steps in, shoves him down, grabs the shotgun, and is about to bludgeon the dude. And that's when Malcolm's like, "Caesar, no, 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 no." And he told him, "I said no guns." And he just points it at everybody, and then he just tosses it, and he's like, "Humans, leave now." And this is when he gets home, and Cornelia is basically dying at this point.
Almost, yeah, near death.
He is very sick. And while everybody's bitching about Carver being an asshole, Malcolm decides, "I'm going up there to try to talk him out of it." He's like, "You should not be here." And Elle goes with him. And
Because they just happen to have the one person who has a magical healing monkey kit.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I love this. She actually noticed. She's like, "Malcolm, she's sick." And she's like, "I have medicine. She can help. I don't trust you." Caesar has no reason to trust. He's like, "I don't blame you, but we are not all like him." And so he's still
Trying to persist a little bit.
persistent in not trusting them. And then she's like, "I can help her. I have medicine." And so he allows her to do it. And then he sees that she's helping Cornelia. And he's like, "One day. You can stay one day." Now, Blue Eyes has had enough of this. He's like, "Father, no."
Yep.
And he's like, "We might need him more time." One day. Apes will help. And so his son tells him, "I will not help them. I won't." And while they're doing all this, Caesar's wondering, where the hell is Koba in all this? Well, Koba is taking his two little henchmen and gone to the city for some shopping. And while he was browsing the lovely stores of the armory, he's realizing they have a lot of weapons here that can kill every freaking ape in the colony.
Pretty much.
And then he gets caught. And I love it. He's looking at these humans like he's ready to just tear them apart, and then he blows a raspberry at them.
Pretty much.
And I'm like, "Oh my god, man, this is so freaking hilarious." And he's just freaking acting like a dumb monkey, basically.
Playing around with
The
that
whole dumb monkey trope. And so they're like, "Okay, get out of here now." And so when his back is to them, he goes from the dumb monkey to the, "Yeah, fuck you humans. Look."
And he just sprays them, yeah.
Yep. And so he gets back up there and he's like, "These humans are very dangerous. Where's Caesar?" And Blue Eyes tells him, he's like, "With the humans." So they get to the dam, and Koba shoves the kid aside. And the kid's like, "Hey!" And Koba's like, not taking that. He starts getting up to the kid, but who steps in front of him?
Yeah.
Orange Man to the rescue. And freaking Maurice is standing there. He's like, "Back off. You don't want this." And that's when, because Koba actually does, or he knows his place is below Maurice.
Yep.
And he's like, "Where's Caesar? Want Caesar." So he calls Caesar out. And so Caesar comes in. And he basically just openly defies him. He's like,
Pretty much.
"Humans attack your son and you're letting them stay. You love humans more than apes. You love the humans more than you love your own sons.
Fighting
And-
words.
Yep, and he's earned. This is when Caesar just has no more patience with him. He goes and beats the hell out of him, starts choking the shit out of him, and it almost sounds like he screams out the word traitor or traitor or whatever.
Yeah.
But then he stops because he realizes he's about to violate the very first law of ape kind. Ape, and he even recites it. Ape, not kill, ape. Well, the damage is done. Koba has just been humiliated in front of all the other apes.
Mm-hmm.
And even the ones he looks up at, the one called Gray in the book, because he's a gray ape.
Yep.
And they look away. They're like, we want nothing to do with you, man. You just fucked up bad. And they're looking, so he gets up, puts his head down, his hand up, forgive me. But he's not having it. So the second that Caesar touches his fingers, whoops, I just knocked off my headphones and broke my headphone. Lovely.
Oh, no.
Bad. Okay. You guys still there?
Yep.
There we're good.
Wow. Okay, so yeah, I just literally broke one of my headphones.
Oh.
Hold on.
We're good.
Alrighty here. Let's see if I can. I doubt it will work, but I got. Yes, I do got another pair.
Is this where we point at the headphones and go, human work?
Human work.
Human work.
Okay, so this is not going to work. So I will be right back, folks. Talk amongst yourselves. And yeah, I got to get new headphones. So thankfully, I have multiple pairs.
Yeah, R.I.P.
Rip Orange's headphones. Yep. All right, be right back.
Mm-hmm. So this is why you have wireless headphones. But going back to what he was saying, the moment he tried to put his hand up for forgiveness or submission, he just slaps it away. Like, get out of here. Just go. Get out of here, kind of thing.
Yeah.
He just see. This is I saw this as like a mafia kind of thing, because in the mafia, if you ever talk back to a underboss, I'm learning about the history of the mafia, but yeah, you don't ever raise your hand to the boss. So like when he calls out his, he loves humans more than he loves his own son. Yeah, that's like talking back to a mob boss. You don't do that. Yeah, that's why I kind of saw the hierarchy of the ape kind, because the ape kind is kind of similar to the mafia in the sense, because you have the orangutan and then the gorillas underneath Caesar, and then Koba is, like I said, just a military leader, but he's kind of overstepping his role in the ape kind under Caesar, obviously. So all the other primates are looking at Koba. Yeah, you done messed up. You don't talk about it to the boss, kind of thing. And it's one of the sense that kind of disowned them.
I just couldn't help but find it interesting that the gorillas had their own section. I mean, are we talking like some sort of monkey segregation here? Or?
I mean,
I would say more. No, really, I would say more. Good.
How many orangutans do you see in this movie other than Maurice? Is he the token orangutan?
The only one so far. My thinking of it is maybe more of a branching out. All the apes kind of branch out to their own little tribes or their own little. Because in the Charlton Heston movie, there's tribes of apes spread out the entire world for different patches of different societies almost. So that's how I kind of see the gorillas versus the Caesar's tribe, I would say. So it's kind of a branching off from ape kind, I guess. That's just my guess. But.
Yeah. You see, for me, the only thing that these movies did not explain how they got from one to the others. How did they get to the anthropomorphized monkeys that we see in the original series?
The Charlton Heston one? One?
Ain't that interesting? Like, what was it? Rise? It was like the one that was after where the two apes from the original movie, they come to the human world and they have like a baby, and then the next movie it's like Dogs
Well,
and cats have passed away due to a special flu. Now people are training up apes to be pets. And
yeah,
you see the
yeah.
men in costumes, but I'm like,
But the way from what we got from because I see the 3 movies we're watching right now or talking about right now as the origin story of the entire Planet of the Apes franchise in general. So by the time the astronaut returns to Earth, I would imagine at least 100 years have gone by before that happens. Because remember, the astronaut is still lost in space for who knows how many years. So from his perspective, from his perspective, he must have come back to the Earth about hundreds of years into the future. Because the Mark Wahlberg one,
Mhm.
Planet of the Apes, I think that takes place like a couple hundred years after Caesar's passing, kind of thing. So that they kind of evolve from not just from an ape, but to
That abomination does not exist.
But even in the original series, the
No, we're talking about
monkeys,
John Hudson Orange.
the monkeys one were very anthropomorphized. Like, was there some
Yes.
crossbreeding or something?
No, but
they were just radically evolved.
Evolved, yeah. From the intelligence, they evolved from themselves, yeah.
But here's the thing: the Heston one takes place like 300 years into the future.
Yeah, after this, yeah, that's what I figured. Because I was telling them that, yeah, when the astronaut comes home to Earth, 300 years after Caesar. So yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Their evolution must have evolved to the point where they're more humanoid apes, if you know what I mean.
But yeah.
Like, yeah.
So where were we? Yeah, Koba was being an ass. So
submit.
Yep. He returns to the armory to get a gun. And he plays the dumb ape again. And they give him some freaking whiskey. And he grabs the gun, swinging it around, pulls the trigger on one guy, blasts him like from nuts to face.
Yep.
And he drops all pretense with the other guy and just blasts him. So while they finish with the dam and get it working, you see all the lights go in places, and they go by the gas station that's in the woods. Gas station in the woods. My gosh, man. But anyway.
And the music plays.
Yeah, and they put the music up, and
that was cool, actually.
Carver hears it, and he's like, "You sons of bitches, you did it!" And then while he's lighting a cigar, you see Koba just looking at him outside the window. And then he looks at, and Koba just pulls him out and pummels him and kills him.
Yep.
And so Caesar takes them all up and points out the lights. And he sees San Francisco's kind of lit up.
Yep.
And everybody in the colony are celebrating. And Gary Oldman's charging up his Kindle, or rather, at this point, it's an iPad, but they didn't have Kindles yet. And he's looking at the pictures of his family and whatnot. And so he's having a nice little emotional moment. And then Cornelia is all better, and so she comes up with the little one.
Yep.
And then Caesar looks down, and he sees Koba. And Koba has something in his hand, and he's like, "Wait, what the fuck? Oh shit, man!" That's when he gets shot.
Yep.
And Koba leaves the gun and the hat of Carver.
Yep.
Perfect setup. Now, this is one of my favorite moments, not because of what just happened to Caesar, but because of what's about to happen with it. Because Blue Eyes finds it, and he's like, "Human gun," and freaking Koba just comes in jumping, and he's like, "Humans attack Ape Home! Burn Ape Home! Kill Caesar!" And he's basically saying we're going to go to war, and Maurice looks up at the humans. Run.
Yeah. Like I said, that's what I said before. That was the moment if Koba didn't betray them. Like I said, they were getting close to a sea death, forever peace finally. But then, that happened.
Wonderful thing about Maurice, played by a woman who does a great job at body work and whatnot.
Yep.
Karen Carnival, who also played the courthouse clerk in the first one.
Yep.
90 days, sir. You're lucky that they didn't put the animal down.
Mm-hmm.
And I just love the voice because the voice is actually different from the next movie.
Mm-hmm.
Because this was like the first time that he speaks run, just like this deep run kind of voice.
That's a scary. That when she said that, they even scared me a little bit in the movie because, like I said, you're a small bit of humans among a huge gathering of apes, and she just says run. Yeah, I'd be hauling ass out as fast as I damn can, bro.
Oh yeah. So then he starts the war. So this is what kicks off the war. They raid the armory, and they're, with the power restored, they're trying to contact the outside world, and they get into a little bit of contact. They're getting some signals,
trying to get the word out.
Well, no, they're just at this point they're still trying to just see if anybody's still alive out there, because they haven't heard that the apes are sacking the armory right now.
That's what I mean. They're trying to get some.
One guy does get away to report on it, and then they're like, Simian! And they're like, oh, no, California Street! The second they come out of that or the second he says that, and they just start blasting. And it's like, holy shit.
Yep.
So this basically sparks off Koba's war, and Koba is just in full bloodthirst mode, man.
Yep.
He's not caring. He doesn't care about the. He does not care about the apes around him. He just wants to kill humans.
Yep.
And he literally smacks one ape off a freaking horse, grabs a gun from another dead ape or dying ape, and just starts doing double blast like a badass on a horse.
Yep.
And I love when the tank comes in, because they're all celebrating because they got the humans kind of scared a little bit, and they're like, yeah, boom. He's like, oh fuck, what did okay, time to kill you now. Koba, as asshole and evil as he is, he's pretty freaking smart.
Yep.
Like, this is the biggest threat. I'm going to knock out this biggest threat, and I'm going to make it ours. And he does. Beats one guy, and the thing still fires, and he notices that, so he's like, there has to be more humans inside.
Mm-hmm.
So he goes in, pummels
very
them.
bold. If I was the guy up on that turret, I don't know, I probably would have started going down and trying to seal that hatch or something. But
if I saw an ape try or pull that or coming at me, I would have gone down, and I would have tried shooting at it. If I missed, I would have sealed the hatch. And that would have been like, get me a gun, get me a gun, get me a gun. The second that thing opens the hatch, we're killing it.
Yep.
It would have been that easy, honestly.
You could have had a sequence where you had like a bunch of gorillas try to push over it, like tip it over or something.
Yeah,
you could have had a little bit of fun with that. But
as strong as gorillas are, there's no way in hell they're turning over a big, huge ton tank. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there are things that could happen. All I'm saying is they could have had some more fun with that.
They did shove a bus.
No. A bus is on 4 wheels that can be moved because it's rubber, but a metal tank on metal,
The bus that they shoved was on its side.
But that wasn't made of pure armored steel. That's different, bro. But I'm just saying. Like I said, that's just me, but
good point.
Doesn't matter really.
So
anyway.
Then they managed to breach the walls, and so they cut to Malcolm L. and their son, or the kid, Malcolm's son. They're like, then they find Caesar in the woods, and his eyes he gives the slightest sign of life, where his eyes just turn to them as like, you're not here to kill me, are you? So they get him in.
I feel bad for that, yeah.
And it's like, I don't understand. How did Carver get the gun? Ape did this.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And so they decide to get down to the colony. They realize it's on fire, and Caesar's like, "Stop the car! Stop the car! Stop the car!" And so they get to Will's home, which is marked by the CDC as a hot zone with that big ass X on the door.
Yep.
And it's like, well, yeah, basically patient zero lived there. Or, well, no, patient zero visited there.
Mm-hmm.
So then they get him in there, and Blue Eyes, during the whole battle sequence, you see him totally realizes this is totally fucked. This is like too many apes are dying. And so Malcolm needs a surgery kit that L has, but it's still in the colony. So he sneaks in, and the apes are all going around searching for more humans. And oh my god, let me see here. Am I doing this in? Yeah, while they're still rounding up humans, before Malcolm gets there, Koba tells Ash to kill and to make humans pay, and Ash is like, Caesar would not want this, and so he tosses the bar aside, and so Koba's like, okay, yeah, good man, good boy. And then he just pulls freaking Ash up and just throws him off the freaking balcony, killing him.
Just messed up, man.
Caesar is gone. Apes follow Koba now.
Yep.
And I'm like, after Blue Eyes saw that, he's like, this is not right.
Nope. This is when he started to finally wake up. Like, dude, this is not my dad wanted.
Yeah, he's like, this is not what was wanted. And then he sees Maurice, Rocket, and others caged in a bus. Yep. And Maurice tells him he doesn't trust anyone who's loyal to his father. He said, or to your father. He says, we're too loyal to your dad. Now, in the book, shortly after Koba kills Ash, Rocket confronts Koba. You murdered my son.
Yep.
And Rocket learned Koba was speaking, and he learned a new word, and it was the perfect time to use it. Your son was a traitor. Traitor was the new word that he could speak and whatnot.
Yep.
And Koba's literally sitting in the freaking mayor's seat in the damn book, because he's in the mayor's office and he's getting drunk off the mayor's booze. Literally, he's just drinking, and he's just blasting freaking back alcohol in the book. And so then when Malcolm gets into the place, finds the kit, Blue Eyes finds him. You think Blue Eyes is about to blast him.
Yep.
But he doesn't, and he goes to turn around. He's like, wait, your father, he's alive. And Blue Eyes is like, just turned around. He's like, and that look in his eyes, he's shocked.
Yeah.
He's shocked, but I'm also thinking, he's like, motherfucker, you better not be playing with me. I have a gun.
Yep.
So then he gets to Will's home where Caesar is, and he's like, your mother, your brother, are they safe? And he says, for now. And that was his only worry at the time. And then and then his son sees what happened to him. First instinct, humans did it. And so he's like, no. It was Koba. And Blue Eyes
is furious.
Yep. The second he learned that Caesar did it,
or Koba did it,
immediately he has turned. He is back on the goods. And so Blue Eyes then fills Caesar in. He's like, where is Koba? He's at the human tower. Loyal apes, he locked up, or Maurice, Rocket, all prisoners, along with humans. He's going to soon send for the females,
Wow.
and because the females were kept in the woods with the young.
Yep.
And so you also, or after Caesar is operated on, and he wakes up after Blue Eyes is looking at that picture of young Caesar with a human, with Will.
Mhm.
It's a very touching moment.
Yeah.
Because he then apologized to his father. He's like, I am so sorry.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, this was my fault. I always trusted Koba. It was my trust in him, and always thought that humans or the apes were better than humans. And we're not that much different from them.
Yep. It's pretty sad that he learned the hard way for that too.
Yeah. And so he's like, I must stop it. He's like, no, Father, he speaks this.
Yeah.
Let me help you. And so he goes and makes a little condensation mark on the bus, the mark of Caesar's mark, and you see, and you hear that slight purr from Maurice to signal all the others, and he gives a slightest nod, and they all see it, and then they see Blue Eyes in the mirror, like, shh. Basically, just wait for the time to be right. So then Blue Eyes starts undoing the lock, and the apes are starting to cause a ruckus. And so the other apes that are loyal and watching the humans have to go over to the bus, and that's like, okay, time to kick ass now. And I just love how freaking Maurice just waits, and then he just busts the chain, grabs one of the apes, and he tells them all, start rocking.
I was gonna say one more side thing about before, when they were showing the bus with the humans helping Caesar get better. I had that little moment when Caesar tells that human guy, I forget his name, but he talks about his father, or his human father, where he was raised with.
We're getting to that. It's just about to happen, basically. After he helps them escape and the humans escape, he also fires off at one of the other apes. But yeah. So then this is where Caesar finds the attic, finds the camera, and plays where Will is teaching him how to say home and apple, and this is your home and whatnot.
Yeah.
And Malcolm's like, I didn't mean to intrude. Who was that on the camera? A good man like yourself. And then
that's hard one for me. Yeah.
And that is like one of the best callbacks.
Though I do have to, wonder, how does that camera have a 46% battery after all this time?
Apparently, it was turned off.
Probably, yeah. My other question is, I'm kind of curious. I guess he died of the disease, but where's she at? That's what I'm kind of curious about.
You're talking about Will and his girlfriend, Frida?
Yeah, from the first movie, yeah.
They probably died of it.
Yeah. Only speculation, but I'm just curious. Like, if they did somehow survive that, it'd be interesting to see him reunite in the third movie or something like that. That would have been interesting. But anyway.
But yeah, so then the apes show up, and this is when Caesar learns that the females have been summoned, basically.
Creepy.
And so he's like, we have to go now.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, he just got out of surgery and stitched up and whatnot, so he's going to have to climb a big-ass tower. So they try taking him into the tunnels. And it's like, and that's when people start shooting, and it's like, hold on, it's just me. Okay. So he finds out Gary Oldman's been setting C4, and he's going to blow them all up.
Yep.
And Caesar gets up there, and Koba sees him. He's like, Caesar has no place here. Apes follow
Ooh.
Ape follows Koba now.
That's ballsy, man. Of him to
Oh,
say
yeah.
that to him.
Now,
Mhm.
in the book, Caesar immediately puts together that Koba has been drinking. He's slurred. He's just basically, he's not all there. Yeah. And he's like, follows Koba into war. Apes win war. Apes together are strong. He's using this to mock him.
Yep.
And then he says, Caesar's weak. Well,
Yep.
Koba's weaker.
Koba weaker. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
That
so
just sets
Koba
them
puts the
off.
gun down, and that's when it gets
To a
to
brawl.
the big fight. Yeah. And it cuts.
That makes sense. I like that.
Yeah.
That detail with the book.
And so, as they're fighting, you see Malcolm. He's like, he just goes over. He pats what's his name. He's setting up the charges and whatnot. And he's like, Dreyfus, pointing the gun at him. Finney, put it down. And he tells the other guy, he's like, what the hell are you doing? He's like, we have to stop this. We have to give him some time. He's up there right now. Who's up there? And they go back to the fighting, and you see that Caesar gets a nice little gash into Koba's side.
He's on. Yeah.
With with some rebar by it, or from a fall.
Yep.
And this has actually in the book or in the movie, this is exploited a lot by Caesar. Caesar makes an effort to go after that one injury because he sees that Koba is favoring it.
Yep.
And whatnot. And it just shows you that they're very smart when it comes to fighting. And he even tells him, he's like, trusted you like a brother. And he's like, you're a brother to humans. You were never a brother to an ape. And then he tells him the one thing that Koba hates being told. Koba belongs in a cage.
It's a low blow, and he knows it.
Oh, yeah, but he has to resort to it because, well, let's face it, he's not at his best. He needs to piss him off.
Yep. Yep.
And so he basically, I just love how he grabs it with his foot, the rebar that Koba's swinging at him. Caesar grabs it with his foot and shoves it right back into Koba's injury, and it's like, damn, dude.
Yep.
And he's just double punching it and swinging. They end up falling over again, and that's when down at the bottom, Gary Oldman is like, they're animals. They attacked us. They attacked us because they thought we attacked them. And so he's like, you think this is going to stop anything? We got into contact with the military group. They're coming this way now. And he's like, what? So that moment of distraction, he grabs the detonator. What are you doing? Everybody else is like, dude, we didn't sign up for suicide here. I'm saving the human race.
By killing
a couple hundred apes.
Yep. Yep, that's really gonna do some damn good. Yeah. Okay.
I liked Price. Price is right. He brought up earlier Gary Oldman and his character and stuff like that. He had a pretty interesting, a very sad. You feel bad for him. He's sad story.
Yes.
He's he's got some hope
with him.
The electricity coming back on, and then
he's just trying to survive. He's just trying to do what is best for the human race to survive. Yeah, he's following his own momentum, his own path. I would think because he's just like any of us trying to survive any kind of apocalypse. All we're doing is trying to survive. So a lot of your reasonable. I was gonna say this. A lot of your reasonable thinking goes out the window. We're just trying to survive at that point. So I can't really blame Gary Oldman for doing that kind of thing at that point.
And like this is like his last thing, his last way to kind of feel useful and to try and take something out.
Yeah.
Yep. And so they rock the entire tower, and it does start to collapse. And so everybody's straggling to get someplace safe while the thing starts to stabilize a little bit.
Yep.
And I love how freaking Koba's he goes up to an ape who's stuck with a gun, lifts up the thing, grabs the gun, and puts it right back on, or puts the heavy thing right back on the ape.
Yeah.
Yep.
And everybody else, or Caesar's helping everybody else and whatnot, and then they all start getting shot at. So Blue Eyes steps in, throws a shit ton of rebar at him.
Yeah.
So that he turns his attention to Blue Eyes and Maurice, and he clips Maurice's face.
Yeah, it's like
That is messed up, man.
And that's when Caesar just goes full on Caesar on his ass. And he's like, "Ah!" Knocks him over the edge.
Yep. And he's hanging by the ledger. Yeah.
And in the book, this moment is actually very specified. When when Koba tells him ape not kill ape, he's saying it mockingly. He's like, you won't kill me. Ape's not gonna kill another ape.
Yep. He's waiting. He's kind of betting on that.
And that's when Caesar's like, you're not an ape.
Or Kobo, not ape.
Yep. And then he just drops him.
Yep.
And so then, when all is said and done, he realizes that Maurice is still alive. He also sees the apes are haranguing Malcolm, and he's like, "Leave him!"
Yep.
And they have this is one of the saddest moments. He's like, "Caesar, you gotta get the hell out of here."
Yeah.
They contacted soldiers. It's going to be a slaughter.
See, this is my. I was saying, I have the same feeling for Orange, that this is a saddest moment for Caesar and him, because this is I guess you would say, the last time the humans are going to see each other as friends in that small moment.
Yep, and he tells him, apes started the war, and the humans will not forgive. You must go.
That's true. That's true.
Or get out before the fighting starts.
And that makes me sad in a serious sense. And like I said, during that time they were working on the dam together as an ape and humans. It just tells me they were so close. They were so close to I guess you say a final peace in that sort of sense. But then, like I said, Koba betrays Caesar. Now it leads to this moment here where it's like, damn.
Well, here's the thing. They agreed too, because he even says, I thought we had a shot.
Yep.
And he tells him, I did too.
Yep. There was that one moment, man. That one single moment that could have had that peace, but then Koba just had to spill the beans and everything. But anyway.
And he even does the same embrace that he does with Will, head to head.
Yep.
Basically saying, you are a brother to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I agree with that.
And so then he goes and meets his family, and that's the end in the movie. Mm-hmm. Now, in the book, it is extended a little further, where there is a military ship arriving in the harbor. And Caesar is on a different tower and whatnot. And now, because he has no choice, he basically calls out like a challenge.
Yep.
He roars out like a challenge, basically, letting them know that we are ready to fight.
I never read the book. Does he beat his chest like a normal ape would, like an aggressive ape, or no?
No, because that's not he's not a gorilla. He's a chimp.
Well, I know that most apes can do that regardless of what they are.
That is strictly a gorilla thing.
Okay. All right.
That is strictly a gorilla.
I thought it was a universal thing, but okay.
No, that's strictly gorilla, because they have hollow pads in their chest area.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, good.
Anyway, now did you guys pay close attention to the credits when you watched the movie? Near the end of the credits.
Been a while since I've watched it.
Well, if you go back and watch it and you pay close attention to the credits, you hear some apes moving through rubble, some rubble shifting, and then you hear a very familiar ape breathing.
Koba, yeah.
Yep, Koba. You hear Koba go, ah. So it's like, oh shit, is that son of a bitch still alive?
Or is
Right.
it dying? Or is it dying? Yeah.
Yeah, so it's basically like the other apes possibly like hear him, but they do nothing. But you don't see anything going on. And it's that's actually the end of the movie. Now,
Yeah.
well, or before we go, we're gonna do our out of tens. Mads, how would you rate Dawn of the Planet of the Apes?
Despite the fact that I've been quite happily roasting part of it, a lot of the movie,
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely put it as a 9. It was a really good movie, and yeah, it was nice to see how close peace was.
Yes.
Very close. I mean, really close. Yeah. For me.
So 9 for Mads. Price?
I gotta do the same. Subjectively, as a fan, like I said, 10 out of 10 because I was well done. But as far as objectively, with the story and the well-driven emotional attachment between the apes and the humans, it's gotta be a 9. Same with Mads.
Yeah. Mongo?
Like I said at the beginning, this was a great movie to rewatch. Just very nice to look at. Nice musical score. Gotta give it a 9 out of 10. Easy 9 out of 10 right there.
Thing is, objectively, I know I gave possibly different scores in the brief review, but believe it or not, I'm inclined to agree that this movie is basically a 9 out of 10 objectively.
Yep.
Because this movie does have a solid story to it. Some of the acting could be a little bit better. Some of the digital effects could have been touched up a tiny bit more. But for the most part, this was a very solid movie. And I would give it a 9 out of 10 objectively. That may be different from my brief review, but those are cursory thoughts just after watching it or going over it further in depth. The objective is subject to change. Subjectively, it is definitely a 10 out of 10. I enjoyed this movie very much. And moviegoer, it keeps me engaged. I felt very little need to pause or do anything unless it was a call of nature. So, yeah, definitely a 10 out of 10. And that is going to wrap this one up. So,
Sweet.
In 2 weeks, we got the final installment of the Caesar Trilogy, and next week we have which versus stream am I doing next week?
This is the vampire one? Are you doing the vampire one?
Yep, it's Helsing versus it's it's Alucard versus Alucard.
Okay. Like I said, when it comes to anime, I've seen this one. I'm not good with anime stuff.
Yep, I got Riot, Angelus, Geeky, and Caitlin possibly on those ones.
Okay. Also comment.
Definitely tune in on that one, folks. That's going to be next Friday night at 9 p.m. And in 2 weeks, we're going to be doing the War for the Planet of the Apes.
Good movie.
And we'll be back in 2 weeks. And until then, leave a like, share out the stream for others to watch, and get my watch time up. And
stay awesome.
Share it out so people can also subscribe. I'm trying to get up to 700 subscribers, so please feel free to share the love and get it out there. Support a young YouTuber, And also sub to all of these lovely channels: Mongo's Big Things, Prices Right Reviews, and Mads Mama Bear. Mads has some awesome content. She does art, crafts, and whatnot, and she's just a joy to freaking be around. Not to mention, she has one of the most fabulously dirty minds out there.
Yeah, I know that firsthand already.
I also try to lean towards the optimistic side, which I got to do a quick plug for Sunday, because Sunday morning I am doing another Rise and Shine stream. So if anybody has something they would like to celebrate, I don't care if it's you did dishes before you went to bed. I've got a pinned tweet on my Twitter page. Drop it in there, and I'll read it out on Sunday.
I will possibly do it. Yeah. So, yes, folks, you all know the drill. If you're catching this on the replay, like, comment, subscribe, share, all that jazz. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. What was your favorite moment in this movie? What was your least favorite? How would you rate it? All that stuff. And before I do go, I want to ask each panelist, who is your favorite ape?
Oof. I would just say me, the king himself, Caesar.
Mongo?
I'm gonna go with Rocket. Cookie Rocket.
Yeah, there's going to.
Mads?
I do have that soft spot for Caesar, but I'm drawing a blank on his name right now. The big gorilla from the first movie.
Maurice.
Oh, the
Orangutan?
gorilla.
Yes.
Oh, gorilla. I don't know.
Buck died, so it's definitely not Buck.
No, that one.
Oh, so he's your favorite out of the whole trilogy.
There was just something about their friendship that seemed so sweet.
Like a big giant brother to the
Yeah.
leader back, pretty much. Yeah.
I'm not ashamed to say I shed a tear when Buck died.
Same here, man.
Yeah.
Now, my favorite one, I think we all know my favorite one, the Orange Man.
Maurice. But you weren't wrong though. He's trying to be the reason of the whole group. He was trying to be
He's wise. He's wise.
Mm-hmm.
He's the voice of reason. You're right. And well, he's orange. So yeah, it makes sense. Oh, and thank you to Soul Assassin for reminding me. Do not forget to tune into the Full Aussie tomorrow morning at 9:30 p.m. So yes, definitely tune in, folks. Anyway, folks, this has been Orange Hat Reviews, Mads Mama Bear, Price is Right Review, and Mongo Big Thanks. And we are out. You guys have a wonderful night, and until the next time, stay humble.